We live in an extremely exciting time in terms of science and technology. Things that have always been considered science fiction are becoming a normal day-to-day component of our lives. While we have seen inventions and breakthroughs over and over in the last couple of decades, the next 10 years are going to blow your mind. Our ability to innovate is increasing exponentially as the years go by. What is the future of cars and fuel? There are many different types of fuel for the automobiles of tomorrow, but the only kind that seems likely to be used by the masses is electric. We still can't figure out how to make hydrogen fuel cells efficient, safe and practical, and hybrid diesel cars will be outdated by then as fossil fuels will become scarce and way too expensive. Tesla is a great example of how the future of automation will look. The Tesla Model S has the ability to reach 160 to 300 miles per charge, depending on the battery size you choose. The car is able to seat 7 people and is surprisingly quick, doing 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. Tesla has already demonstrated their full self-driving technology in play, so we can expect to see more of this technology as the years go by.
Once the training sessions were complete and they released me and let me be the computer, basically, to control that arm, I just go into a whole different world.
In the next 10 years, we are likely to see a lot more biotechnology, where humans will use bionic hands controlled via brain signals. You might not be able to crush rocks like you may think, but the technology will allow people without fingers to have fully functional hands that can pick up delicate objects. The arm would be fully controlled by the brain and wouldn't even require surgery. Touch Bionics is a company that produces the Pro Digit hands, which is complete with a plastic covering resembling human skin. The arm would be under $50,000 but would depreciate in value over time. How success and the access of popularity will be revolutionized. What I mean by that is the ability of a random person to come from nowhere and gain recognition and even become a well-known someone overnight. The internet has been leveling up the playing field so that you don't need $1 million in capital or marketing to get your ideas and creations into the spotlight. 10-year-olds are making thousands of dollars off their viral videos on YouTube. Anyone with a business idea can start a website or get going with little to no capital. Even Twitter can launch people into the spotlight if they know how to work the system into their favor. Many people are getting huge jobs because companies are seeing how well their content does on the web. An example of this could be Fede Alvarez, who created a short film just for it to go viral and get an offer of $30 million from a Hollywood company to direct a film for them. The internet is a great tool for capitalism, entrepreneurship and dreaming. Whatever you can dream, you can make possible with the World Wide Web. Computer speed, size and usability. Most tech nerds know of Moore's Law from 1965. The number of transistors we are able to put in a computer doubles every year, and ultimately doubling the speed. However, most people don't know that Moore himself came out and said his law is most likely to finally fail in the year 2020, when the number of transistors we can put on a chip will be limited by the laws of physics. Does this mean that the exponential rise in computer processing speed will come to a halt in the next couple of years? And how can we overcome this barrier to revolutionize the field of computing? Jim Tully, Chief of Semiconductors at Gartner, says, "The technology which will replace this is a bottom-up approach, where chips will be assembled using individual atoms or molecules, almost acting as a type of nanotechnology." Ray Kurzweil, a respected futurist, stated in 2008, that when this molecular computing technology comes out in 2020, computers will have the same intermolecular capabilities of human beings. It's currently the year 2021. What if the technology already exists and we just don't know it? The MacBook Air is pretty thin compared to computers in the 90s. So thin, in fact, it makes you wonder if physical computers will even exist in the next 10 years. Well, according to developers at Intel, the keyboard and mouse surely won't. Who will need a keyboard when you can control a computer with your mind? A researcher at Intel stated, "Eventually people will be more willing and committed to brain implants. Imagine being able to surf the internet with the powers of your thoughts." Robotics by the year 2030. The first decade of the 21st century has been a remarkable time for the innovation of robotics. While we are still far away from having bots helping around the house or doing our construction, big strides have been made towards that becoming a reality in our future. Recently, robots have been able to teach themselves human facial expressions by randomly contouring its face and receiving feedback on what resembles real expressions. Another example is the Big Dog, a four-legged robot that can navigate through difficult terrain and correct his balance when shoved. as well as the bipedal version of the big dog that walks heel to toe like humans do. It can also regain balance when shoved. How will the masses interact with the world in the next 10 years? The way we interact with the world has already changed so much since the introduction of the internet and smartphones. In the very near future, another jump will be made, integrating the information of the internet with our surroundings. What I mean by that is being able to look at a building, product or place and immediately being able to access information about the subject to our devices and eventually with our eyes. An explanation of this concept could be Goggles by Google. The app allows you to take pictures of a subject and instantly receive information to your Android phone. What does the future of energy look like? Solar energy will soon leave fossil fuels and inefficient wind farms in the dust. According to Kaiswile, the cost per watt of solar energy is coming down rapidly and the total amount of solar energy exponentially. In fact, for the past 20 years, solar energy usage has been doubling every 2 years. A company called Sandia is making this a reality, as they have made a solar cell made of 100 times less material than current solar cells, as well as operating at the same efficiency. Considering the fact that the largest hurdle in solar energy is the expense, these new microscopic cells will make a huge difference. For example, current panels are huge in size and require large motors to move and track the sun. Sandia cells, on the other hand, will only need to move a fraction of a millimeter to track the sun and weigh almost nothing. Even more amazing is the fact that they are printed on flexible materials, which could mean that your entire car could be covered in these powerhouses. The future of the health industry. While we still can't cure the common cold, custom-made organs are just around the corner. A company called Organovo have developed a 3D printer which is able to build custom organs cell by cell. The company has stated that custom veins and arteries will be available in the next 5 years, whereas more complex organs such as hearts and livers could be up to 10 years. The future of medicine is looking very bright due to the introduction of nanotechnology revolutionizing the health industry, as well as an awesome combination of our higher understanding of the way DNA works and the ability to create very small cellular parts. Scientists believe they are finding the specific sequences of DNA code for conditions such as schizophrenia, autism, and even aging, and that the cures are finally in sight.